Hi Crafty Friends, Lacey here, the Cheeky Bum, and today I'm going to show you how I made this really cool easel card using some Scrap Diva dies and the paper collection. I think it turned out really cute and I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made it. Okay friends, so let's start with the base piece. What I did is I took my largest piece of my Saloon that I'm using. You can do this with just about anything. All you have to do is kind of measure. So I knew I wanted the sides to hang off the base of the card a little bit. So I was like, all right, well, so the total was like 5.5. And I was like, all right, I want it to hang off a little bit. So I'm going to make it 5.25 wide. And then I kind of measured the height. And I was like, all right, we'll go by 5. I think that'll make it easy. So you want to double this. So my card base is 5.25 by 10. So once you have this piece, you basically want to fold it in half or score it in half. And then take one section and fold it in half again or score it in half. So if you're using the Saloon, your card base is going to be 5.25 by 10, and you're going to score it at 2.5 and 5. That's it. I've already inked my edges, and I'm going to mat. The card is going to sit like this, right? So I'm going to mat these two pieces and then mat the inside all the same. So basically you're going to need one mat. I mean, if you want to do the back, you can do 2, but I think I'm just going to do 1. So it's 4 3/4 by 5, and this is going to leave 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then you need 4 pieces that are 2.25 by 5. So that's what I have. So I'm going to do this Scrap Diva paper on the inside, this gnome with the Saloon, and I'm going to just kind of mat like that. Oh, this piece I didn't cut right. Or did I? Oh, sorry, this was the extra piece. So it goes like this and like this. And this is not going to be seen a whole lot. And then I'm going to put this wood grain on the outside because it just kind of goes with my Saloon a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do. So gonna speed this up so you can watch me mat. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can use score tape for this. You could use a glue runner. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use just glue. This is my preferred method, but you do you. Okay, so I have my base done. So that's my inside and my outside. Again, I think I'm going to leave the back blank. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to put that aside and work on my Saloon. So I think that, I don't know exactly how I want to do this. I want to make it somewhat dimensional. So I believe this goes like this. And then this goes on top like this. And then the back piece. And I just grabbed some like neutral colors out of my stash, and these had like kind of like a woven print. It kind of gave me like, I don't know. But I thought that this would make such a good birthday card for like a boy or a guy. So that's why I wanted to go with the neutral colors. So I don't know. I know this piece I'm going to pop up, but I don't know if I want to pop up the blue piece or not as well. If that makes sense. Let me think about this. I'm going to ink the edges of this piece to give it more depth and dimension because I know that this piece is going to be popped up, and I'll be back. All right, I decided that I'm not going to pop up everything. I'm just going to pop up the front of the Saloon because I don't want it two-dimensional. I want you to be able to put it in an envelope if possible. You could make a dimensional envelope, but I think that for time's sake and for this, because most likely I won't be putting this in an envelope at all. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the destination for this card is going to be. So I think that I'm gonna, yeah, just not make it two-dimensional as of right now. All right, so you smash these 2 layers together first. And then we're gonna put this down. I feel like it goes like that, but I want to make sure before I, yeah, okay. If I would have went with a little lighter blue than that, it would have looked more like sky, but you know, live and let learn, right? And I think that I have to add on the windows and all the extra bits before I put the main piece of the saloon on. But if you wanted to give this like a lot of depth, I would suggest popping up every layer, because that could add so much depth. Even like popping this one up, it would give it depth behind the windows. So this could potentially have like just so much depth, just depending on what you're gonna do with it, like what its intentions are. For a card, I don't want to make it too thick and chunky, but I might have to play with this and see how depthy I can get it, if that's a word. But I know that I need to add windows and stuff beforehand. And these windows are not my favorite. They come out like this. So I thought that it would be all one piece, but it's not. So I'm gonna, I think, attach these first and then the inside. Let's see. Oh, I think it goes like this. I haven't played with this, so you're playing with it for the first time like me. All right, so let's attach this. When I have little strips like this, I like to just kind of do dots, and then without squeezing, just kind of rub it in with my tip. That's just what I do, so it doesn't make too much of a mess. And then I just like to like hold and press before I like move it around too much, so that it has time to grip. All right, that looks good. So then we take this piece, so this one's a little longer, and if you look at the window, this longer base goes towards the top apparently. There, should go like that. So yeah, if you were gonna pop up this piece, I don't know if I would do these inserts, because it wouldn't work with the depth. I would just do this frame, like, so you just have this piece if you were to pop this up too, because you wouldn't have anything attached to attach this one to, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Unless you were to use like a piece of acetate, and like if you glued a piece of acetate on the back of this and then put the windows down. I'm definitely gonna have to play with this card again. I see stuff in my mind, all the possibilities. Because you could potentially turn this into a shaker as well, I think. It sounds a little ambitious, but I think you could if you really wanted to. Okay, and now we have a door piece. It frames this. Okay, we have that. Now we have our saloon doors, which are like 3 different pieces. So I did them in 2 different colors. So this is the main piece. Oh, I think I should have put this flap underneath the door frame. I didn't look at any reference pictures, so I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it's really going to matter since it's the same color. But the door frame itself might not have stuck well if I had this underneath it. So I think I'm just going to, since it's the same color, I'm just going to match it up. Like this. Like how far? Should I give it some space? I'm not quite sure how I want to do that because then we have this framey bit. So I could make 2 doors like this, but then we have this piece that I haven't played with. So you could either do that like that, or you can do this piece. Oops, I need this one. I think I like that more. No, I mean, I could leave those pieces out completely and just put them like that, but I think I like the gold. I think it gives it some reflective. So I think what I'm gonna do I want to put this on first? I do, so that way I can hold it. Like that. That looks good. I like that. Okay, so now that our pieces are glued, I'm just gonna put glue all over the back. I do want to make sure that these stick down. So carefully, I'm gonna see where I want this placed. Right here, I think. How does that look? I think that's how I want it. Gotta really use your eyeballs to make sure you line it up well. I guess if you didn't, I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Most things probably weren't super perfect. In an old saloon, I assumed that these doors would have been broken down multiple times and, you know, barely hanging on the hinges. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what I assume. Okay, so we have some steps too, but I think the steps go on the outside of this. So I don't know if I want to attach the steps first before I think so, before I pop this up. It also has some treads. Let's see this piece. So we have these treads that go on the top to give the steps more dimension as well. So these will go right here. we also have a saloon sign as well, and I don't know if I want to attach that before or after. I think after, because I'll probably give that dimension too. So I'm gonna figure out what foam I want to do. I think I'm gonna do, oh, here we are. So I think I'm gonna use this because this is pretty thin. I do have some thicker foam. I don't know how much dimension I want to give it. I think I might want to use the thicker foam. So actually I'll probably use, I think this is the same, oh, it's not quite the same thickness. So I think I'm going to use this. This is just, you know, the Dollar Tree foam, but I think I'm going to use this because I can cut it down into whatever kind of piece I want. If that makes sense. So I like to take my tape a couple pieces at a time. This was already like a half piece anyway, and just cut, I think I'm gonna cut a couple, oh, that one's a perfect size. So just kind of cut these in half, like so, because I think that those will fit along the bottom perfect.
That one's a little wonky.
Oh yeah, I like that. So, I mean, you could cut some thinner. Like this is being like super anal. Like you probably don't need to do this, but if you really wanted to make sure that you're giving your structure support, you could cut this into a couple thin strips. Like this, so that you could put it on the outside. Just like that.
Perfect.
Okay, so we have all of our bits. Now I want to line up, I think, the top. Perfect. I love how it gives it that little bit of depth so it looks like this is the porch, it's raised. I don't know if you can see it, but there is some detail in this top that I think if I had done a normal piece of paper, try to pull this out. If I had done a normal piece of paper, I think you might be able to see that. And I could just cut this out in a different color and place it at the top here. Let me think about that. All right, so if I did it out of plain brown paper, you can see the details a little bit more. I think I'm gonna cut off these. This is for the post. So there's that. So I think I'm gonna cut this into pieces. So I think I have this piece. I don't know if I want to use other pieces or not. So I could put it like this. I don't know, do we like that? Do we not like that? And I could pop this up. It's still like hard to see those grooves. Okay, so I ended up cutting this strip and kind of just distressing it with my ink. And I'm just gonna, I thought about giving this dimension, but I'm not. Again, I don't want to go too dimensional with this, with it being just a card. It fits on there just like that. Now we have to do the sign, the saloon sign. So I have all my pieces like so, and I also did them in that copper foil paper. So I don't know how I want to do it. I don't think I want to put them just straight on here. I guess I could. You know. What I'm going to do, so if you want everything to be spaced perfectly, I'm just going to take a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to kind of cut it in. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to cut this a little bit off. I'm going to run it through my machine so that I have it like that. That way I can kind of put this on here where I want it, and I can just, so I want to try to like line up the middle like so, and I can just put, I can just slot them in kind of like this and then press down, if that makes sense. Okay, so here is my saloon. I'm not going to attach this yet. I think I want to add I have like a little gnome that I think I'm going to add, and I have to figure out what I want to use to prop the card up so it sits. So you have to put something here, and it doesn't have to have like that much dimension. You just need something that will slide in and will help prop this up so your card sits up like this, like a picture. Okay, so I've got my saloon done. I have this little gnome guy that I pieced together because I think that he will be super cute on here as well. But first I'm gonna attach the bottom half of this to my card. And I'm gonna bring it right down to the edge. So I'm just gonna, you don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna take my pencil and kind of make a line of where I need my glue to go. Again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it's all personal preference. And again, you don't have to use the glue either. You could use whatever you want, score tape. Oh, I guess I didn't really need to go to the edges either. I forgot that I wanted those to hang over. So I'm gonna take that glue off real quick so it's not gonna stick to anything. There. I'm just gonna go over the best I can because it is dimensional. Like you could have added this base first before, like the base of the saloon before you started popping it up. Like it's all, again, personal preference of how you want to do it. You know, sometimes we work harder, not smarter. Other times it's vice versa, right? Sometimes we get smarter, not harder. Okay, so that's on there. And I have to decide, I cut out this wanted. This goes with It's the Scrapdiva cowboy words. I'm gonna put it right here. I think I am gonna pop this up on foam as well. I'm trying to think if I have some brown foam. I feel like that should be good, right? Yeah. So now I have to decide before I glue this down, like how far up in the card I want it. Like, do I want it to sit more like this? Or do I want to give it a little bit of a tilt? I think I want to give it a little bit of a tilt, because that way I can put a sentiment or whatever I wanted in here. So I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to, again, kind of hold it up to where I want it. I think I want it about right there. And I'm going to, it's not quite center. I think that's center. See, like that. How cute is that? And this little gnome, I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna glue him right around here. Now he's gonna be a little difficult to stick down because, you know, he's only gonna be touching certain things. But I could add a little bit of foam on the back of his hat so that would stick. How do I want to do this? I think I want him off. Well, I kind of want him like this. You just got to really play. So I am going to cut a little bit of foam to put on the side of his hat so that those stick and will be supported so they don't bend up and like hinder the card at all. I'm gonna cut a piece basically in half and then in half again, I think. So that will be, now I need to decide if I want them right here, I might put some foam right there as well to give it that extra bit of stick. Since a lot of him is not going to be like glued down, I want to give him his best chance of really kind of sticking to the page. All right. I think that I can give them oops. I'm trying to see where I might be able to put some more foam. I think that I can give him a little bit. Along his hat right here. All right, so I have that glue support, and then I'm gonna take this off. And I'm not sure what's gonna touch. I think his little legs will be touching. I think this right here. I think maybe his guns too. But whatever doesn't end up sticking to paper, will just dry, so it's not going to be that big of a deal if you put glue somewhere that it's not going to stick or not going to touch. I'm going to just kind of gently hold down for a few seconds on those bottom parts so that they have a chance to grab on. Perfect. Look how cute that is. It's so cute. I think it turned out really cute. I think that I have room right here that I might put something so I could write something, like a little sentiment. So I think that I'm going to cut that real quick. Okay, friends, so this is the final card. This is what the outside looks like. You could add more to it. Like I said, I don't want to make it two-dimensional because it is a card, but you could add like cactus. You could add just other little things if you wanted. And this is the inside of the card. I ended up cutting one of the wanted posters. The wanted poster, I think they're like it's a nesting die. But it's so cute. So I can write whatever sentiment I want like that, and it will sit up like that. It is just adorable. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it's so relatively easy. Like the hardest part is like paper piecing. So that is my simple Saloon easel card. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I will list all the dies that I used. I don't have all the paper, like, so this paper is out of the Scrap Diva paper collection, but you could use any paper that you wanted. The rest of the paper I just pulled out of my stash. I will link the Saloon die down below. This little guy I had in my stash, but this is the wanted nesting posters. And then this is the wanted, this is out of the cowboy words. So I'll link all that down below, but it's a really fun and easy card. And you can totally make this girly if you wanted to too. I just wanted it kind of rugged and boy, and I seen the gnome and I thought, oh, this was so cute. I already made the boy like woody themed cowboy boot album, so I thought that this would be a cute little thing to put together that's very boy. It's very cowgirl right now with all like the pink cowgirl stuff, so I wanted to make this one a little bit more boyish. So if you have any questions, let me know. If not, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.